Hearing that culture of human rights is getting into our structures. We keep on saying that our problems are systemic and structural. I think you can feel that the work of ARF and others who support them and work with them is starting to change the structure and the system.
Has LRF been involved in the pilot legal aid scheme? Because I think you have such rich experiences, which I think should have been incorporated in that. And secondly, do you train prison officers? Like for him, it was just by the way that it happened. So is there any plan, anything that's in the pipeline to train prison officers on what the paralegals do? Thank you.
Yes, LRF has been involved in the process. Indeed, it was one of the civil society organizations that was consulted during the thinking through of the pilot program. By virtue of the fact that the Kenya Prison Service is part of the pilot program, the paralegals, they are also involved.
Over and above that, we have been training many officers in the area of human rights, and at the moment we are trying to negotiate with the Rural Training College, where all the prison officers have to pass through, so that at least it is the concept of paralegalism, the training component is included in the curriculum.
Laura, a COMESA consultant, urged LRF to be very creative in their fundraising initiatives, bearing in mind the global economic recession.
On the issue of fundraising, I think you have to be strategic. Your trustee has just mentioned that there's a global economic recession and therefore donors are cutting back.
She mentioned a few great avenues of mobilizing funding.
As you write your proposal to African Capacity Building Foundation, is that you specifically ask for monies to buy property, so that you can use that as an investment. You can rent out that property, which is what a number of organizations in Zambia have done, like the Young Women's Christian.
Reverend Agola strongly felt that his fellow members of the clergy really require paralegal training, since their impact on society can be profound.
The members of the clergy require paralegal training. And if the partners here can really support what my sister here was suggesting, and the other one about having Haki Tawale, the institute. Otherwise, we are getting involved in politics, we are making political statements that are not properly informed by the law systems.
Jedida Wakonyo, the executive director, took the participants on a walkthrough of LRF's strategic plan 2009 to 2013.
As you've heard before, we have 5 thematic areas. For many years, we have ignored our community justice system. And yes, I know that there are limitations, either in terms of how they discriminate gender, disability, to mention but a few. But there's another level of justice, very important to certain communities. The North is an area to look at. The sustainability of an institution is so core to its constituents, and our constituent is the poor, the vulnerable, and the marginalized. That institutionalization and stability is very important. So endowment, fund building is very key. That means as partners, we have this civic duty and responsibility to ask ourselves, how do we build mutual partnerships, be they financial or non-financial, where it may be by virtue of technical support or infrastructure, or however or whichever way you conceive that non-financial contribution. Many times we are not able to document and account for that non-financial contribution, and I think maybe this is a challenge to us as civil society, that we actually begin to contribute. How much does a pro bono lawyer contribute to your program? Paralegals, you've heard, we volunteer ourselves, our entire selves. What does ourselves amount to financially? And finally is really to think, what are we thinking from a financial basis as LRF? With our 5-year strategic plan, we've also asked ourselves, what will it account for annually and for the whole year? We have a projection of about 200 million for the 5 years on a biannual basis. We are looking healthy this year, 2009, because we have a 25% deficit, and it gets lower and lower. By the time you come to 2011, we have a deficit of 80%. By the time you come to 2012 and 2013, we really have no resources other than the technical support that we can rely on. So therefore, we are urging that we think through how do we build a mutual partnership with each and every one of you as an institution and also as an individual. As we sign off, Haki Itawale.
Mr. Kakai Karani presented a reflection of the theme, Mutual Partnership, on behalf of Dr. Karuti Kanyinga, the lecturer of the University of Nairobi.
Just to confirm to you that the LRF board is a diverse board, and we're very passionate about what we do at LRF. I think we bring different skills. I, for one, for instance, come from the private sector, and I come in with certain experiences about in the private sector, which I suppose has added some value to LRF. But just to, perhaps to our partners and our colleagues who don't work at LRF, is that I think you're talking about an organization that, in my view, that has a very, very strong governance structure. So, Jedida and my colleagues on the board, I just want to say thank you very much, and I think well done. But often, partnerships are destroyed on the account of poor accountability and poor information sharing methods. Obviously, just emphasizing that point. Partnerships are based on respect, trust, and mutual understanding. I think that is self-explanatory. So in brief, that is what
A partnership commitment form was circulated to the stakeholders.
I would like to give this opportunity to the partners and donors who are represented here. They need not obviously respond to this form in public, but maybe just to give us some feedback about today and what sort of partnerships either they have with us or they're likely to be working towards in our strategic plan.
Janet Munyoki, an LRF program officer, gave a vote of thanks to the Roundtable meeting service providers and all the participants for making time to come and attend the Roundtable meeting.
I take this opportunity to thank all of you and extend a warm vote of thanks to all of you for coming today and making this day a success as it has been. Our deepest...
A sumptuous lunch was served and the stakeholders freely mingled and exchanged notes. Long live the Legal Resources Foundation Trust. Haki Itawale.